And we are live. We are live. What is up, guys? You guys are all having a fantastic weekend. It's a little rainy, a little nasty here. It's been rainy and nasty, and I'm kind of wanting to get out and mow the lawn, but I can't because I gotta let it dry. So I figured I'd do a little bit of work in here, and I kind of wanted to actually start working on Combo Island for real, rather than just messing around. Previously, I'd just been kind of messing around on that land, so I decided to take it up a notch, start getting a little serious here, because this is an experience I kind of want to build so that people can come hang out on. And I can't do that if I'm just messing around and adding a bunch of random stuff. So, plan for today is to actually start building Combo Island. What I did was I actually dropped the elevation of the land that they give me all the way down to basically like the bottom 3 or 4 squares. And then what I plan to do is give the bottom like an island theme and then kind of build everything straight up from there. Since a lot of the time what you can do is you can really take advantage of elevation in this game. So that is what we are going to do. So first thing I gotta do is I gotta add some water. And to give it that island look. Oh, that's not good. Hope you guys are all having a solid weekend. I'm pretty excited about the holiday weekend, having the day off Monday. Just getting able to relax. Kind of feels like things are starting to get back to normal, which is nice. I know there's been a lot of news going on in the Metaverse. Lots of stuff for anyone that saw my weekly update yesterday. Lots of stuff. There we go. Yep, so actually I don't like that at all. I'm going to do something a little different here. This land's actually way bigger than it looks, so it's not as easy to manipulate as it looks when you're trying to do specific stuff like this. Not easy. There we go. I know these are different, guys, from the stuff I normally do, especially like the regular content stuff, but I'm a creator at heart. This is what I love to do in my spare time, is just make things, and that's not limited to just video. So I like being able to bring you guys in and give you guys a peek at the stuff I enjoy, aside from just videos. Probably gonna have to start giving you guys a little bit of warning when I do these streams. It's not easy for everyone to just be hanging out waiting. Sweet. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding some water around it to give it the whole island vibe. Land's really big, obviously. This is just one land, one sandbox land. Don't like that. There we go. Let me know if you guys got a chance to score land in the last land sale. I know the last land sale was a little bit crazy. Things got a little bit crazier than the last time, a week ago. think there's a pretty big demand going right now for lands in the sandbox. And I think that's kind of affecting the experience a little bit. I think there was a lot of people on Thursday trying to get land. All right, so that kind of looks waterish. We're gonna put water in the corners to give it less of a boxy edge. I feel like we should make like a cove or like a beach or something here. Is this truly going to be an island? So like I said, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to keep this ground level, and then I want to build everything up from here. This is the lowest point of the land. I can go really high up here. So I'm kind of going to do a combination of things at ground level and then something that kind of goes up and weaves its way up and goes higher and higher and higher. Maybe floating islands or something like that, connected by like bridges, rope bridges. Maybe I'll do some sort of big like treehouse style thing. There's a lot of stuff I could probably do. Again, this is something I want to be able to have everyone hang out on. So that's the goal, is to be able to make Combo Island a place that like you guys can chill at. We can do all sorts. Maybe we can do some special events at, etc. I think that would be really fun. I'll put our little beach in here. It might be a little too big. Might have been a little too big. How do I want to do this? Yeah. We're going to make it like a little corner area here. Put like a little building up against it or something. That'll be cool. Water is probably the hardest thing to work with in this. For some reason, it's funky. It looks weird sometimes from weird angles, and it can give you like these weird, like almost like mirages for a second, like something's not right, and you have to go back in and fix it. Also, if you don't fill in all the water blocks, you'll be able to see it under the water, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, we're gonna give it like a staggered corner vibe here. I know a lot of this sometimes, I think, unless you're kind of able to understand an end goal from just an idea or some words, a lot of this kind of looks like it doesn't even make sense sometimes, probably. Probably doesn't even make sense. That's all good. Oh. All right, now we're getting somewhere. We've got this little like corner area, swimming access, etc. I think I'll bring it out a little bit wider down here. Keeping this one block deep because it's about the height at which an avatar can get in and out of the water. So we're not going to make it any deeper than that. Otherwise, people are going to get stuck, not be able to get out of the water. I'll have to add steps, etc. Don't really want to have to do that right now. Yeah, that works. Cool. So as of right now, if people were to jump in this water and they were to move to the edge of the land, they would be able to jump to the next land. So once this is posted, if you get to the edge of a land, you can jump to the next land if there's nothing obstructing it. So you kind of want to keep that in mind when you're building your experience. I'll probably put like a concrete wall here or something, and I'll make it invisible, and I'll run it all the way around here so that people can't actually leave anywhere. And that kind of just forces people to decide where they want to go on the island. They can't just jump off of your land from any spot. You can create like a like a road that leads off your land or something, and then people can take that if they want to head to the next land, etc. Because obviously you want people to feel like they can do that, but you also want to you want to keep people in your experience, right? You want to sort of guide people through the experience and not just allow them to leave it too early, etc. So you want to find a balance between that freedom, letting people jump to the next land, but also not making it something where they can do too easily. So I think that's pretty cool. You should build a guitar statue and put a small sign saying dedicated to Nomad Guitar. Actually, I like the guitar statue idea. I'm probably going to do that. Big music fan. I play guitar, so I'm probably going to throw a guitar statue on here. I like that idea a lot. I hope you're doing well, Nomad. You drive? I think I was watching Randy stream the other day, and he was saying that you drive for a living. So hopefully I'm giving you something to listen to right now on your drive. Maybe you're not working today because it's the holiday. I hope you're not working. Honestly. But if you are, hope all is well. Now I gotta add sand for the beach. Be a lot of terrain editing today. A lot of terrain editing today. Hope everyone has some solid plans for the holiday if you're celebrating. You are in the US of A. Hope you got some solid plans. Friends, family, fun. I know we're planning to cook some food, have some drinks, set off some fireworks. Just relax. It's been a wild year already. Yeah, with my sign. No, that's cool, man. I'm sure you get a lot of time to consume a lot of content. Working nice day for it. Nice day. Yeah, it is. We were supposed to get some rain here, but it kind of tailed off, so I'm going to try to get out and mow the lawn after this, so I don't have to do it tomorrow on the 4th, because that's not fun. But it's been raining all week, so I haven't... Yeah, yesterday it probably rained like 3 or 4 inches. Just that kind of rain that soaks everything, and it takes like a day to dry up. It sucks. I mean, it's good. We obviously need rain. Rain's... I won't ever complain about rain. I know places, especially out west, are really struggling right now, but... It's not easy when you're trying to get outside work done leading up to the 4th. Yeah, so we're gonna have a little beach area here. Sticking with the island theme. Might have to buy like or build a pirate ship asset or some sort of boat asset to throw out there. All right, that works. So what we'll do is we'll probably only make that spot accessible, and I'll make the rest like off limits here. We'll put buildings and stuff off to the edge. The edge of the water was just to kind of give the impression of being on an island. So got our beach now. We'll add a couple trees just for posterity's sake. We need to fill it out a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time dropping assets right now because I got to do a ton of terrain manipulation on this. But I'll do a couple. There we go. All right. It's a good start. It's a good start. I want to do some fun stuff here. I'm definitely going to have to build some custom assets, I think, for this land, just to do everything I want to do. I keep having this like vision of like this building right on the beach. I don't know what it would be. Maybe it's just some sort of like club or hangout spot where we could all chill at. But I think it would be really sick to have like a treehouse style thing going on. Maybe some floating islands with a lot of different stuff. I want to do, obviously, I want to do an NFT gallery. I was thinking it'd be really cool if I did an NFT gallery. And I'd want to host community NFTs, number one. So like NFTs that you guys create or NFTs that I create. That would be the start. But obviously we could rotate it out. We could have it themed. Maybe we could vote on the theme. We could vote on the NFTs it hosts, etc. I think that'd be some really cool stuff. And there's a lot of stuff we can do already with the tools they gave us here. So we'll be able to do that. No problem. I'm also going to start brainstorming some other options. Is that a new land, or you just... I did reset the land, Jerome. I was just messing around on the other one, and this is the actual land I'm going to build for Combo Island. Oh, Faithless retracted message. Sorry I missed that, man. I don't know what you said. Maybe you didn't. Maybe it was an accident. Yeah, I reset the other one. The other one was just messing around. I kind of wanted to show you guys some concepts. I built a couple towns, built some platforms, you know, made some stuff move. But I did actually want to build an experience. And so, you know, obviously that last one wasn't really conducive for a full-on experience. So I dropped the level of this land all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to build kind of up. We're going to use the elevation to our advantage here. This is ground level, added a little beach for everyone to chill out in, etc. Probably have a clubhouse. We'll have a theater where we can hopefully do group watches of videos, etc. We're going to have an NFT gallery. Probably going to do some mini games, etc. Faithless. Silly question. Does adding more assets cost a lot of money? That's not a silly question, man. That's a really good question. So these assets, the default assets, all come by default with the game maker. There's like 17 pages of default assets. There are other assets on the market in the Sandbox that you can add for free as well. So you have a lot of options in terms of assets you can use without having to pay anything. If you don't like what's there, then the next option would be to either build your own in VoxEdit and import that, which is limited to certain people right now, but they're getting ready to open it up to everybody just because the review process for all those assets is quite lengthy, as you can imagine, for copyright and stuff. So either build your own or go on the marketplace and see something that someone else has built and you can buy it. I actually bought this spider. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. This Black Widow. I really liked this Black Widow, so I bought it on the marketplace. Someone put some time and effort into it. But I mean, look at that. Look how cool that is. And I'm actually using that in another game world I'm building right now. In another land. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can use it. There's free options. You know, you can build your own. And then if you don't like any of that, you can obviously buy one. So I think they provide enough options for creators to get started. Yeah, the spider's so sick. I mean, there's some really awesome assets in here. Some people that are just really talented at making cool stuff. It's got like 5 different animations too. So whoever made that one. And it was only like 10 sand. So it was only like $3 or something like that. Not even $2. I think it cost more in gas fees than in actual sand to buy it. So it was pretty cheap. All right, so we got our beach. I definitely want to put something here, but I don't know what I want to put yet. So we'll do a little more land manipulation. We're going to do a treehouse because I think that'll be sick. So I got to find the right block to make the trunk of the tree with, because we're going to make it out of blocks. There's not an asset large enough to use for that. Fire gravel kind of looks good. I don't know if that top's going to ruin it though. Let's see what it looks like. How much for the spider? What is your average cost of land? No, you're good, man. So the spider, yeah, the spider, like I said, it was only like $3 total. It was like 10 sand or 20 sand or something like that, which was really cheap because sand's like 20 cents. a coin right now. So I think I spent like a 90 cents in gas fees on it because it's obviously on Ethereum network. So I probably spent like a quarter of what the cost was in just gas fees, which the Polygon migration is really going to help because Sandbox is migrating to Polygon network. But I have seen My Neighbor Alice. I have not gotten into it yet. I know that the Sandbox did a partnership recently where they added some My Neighbor Alice characters, which I thought was really cool. In terms of land, my average cost of land. So when I first got into the Sandbox, I really wanted to buy a land. So I got really impatient and there was no land sale at the time. So I went down to OpenSea and I bought one secondhand. I spent like almost $1,000 in Ethereum on it. Then after I got more familiar with the platform, I realized that you can get it much cheaper at land sales. It's not easy to get, but you can get them. So the last 2 land sales I've gotten lands, and I only spent probably about $200 on that. So a lot cheaper. But the $1,000 just kind of shows you what they're going for in the secondary market. So I mean, at this point I have 3 lands. So I can do 3 different experiences, or I could, sell one on the secondary market, recoup some of my investment, buy a few more at land sale time if I'm lucky. The land sales are pretty hard to get into though, just because it's not that they're hard to get into, it's hard to score a land. Just because there's so few lands and everyone's fighting over like 1,000 lands that drop at one time, which is not a lot. Also, the popularity of the platform has really picked up over the past, I'd say just the past couple weeks. It's picked up to the point that I think it's going to end up being a lot harder to get lands as time goes on, just because of the popularity of it. So I like that. I'm going to use this as a tree trunk. Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, it was a huge difference. $200 versus $1,000 is a massive difference. If I'd have known how cheap it was to get one at the land sale, obviously I wouldn't have dropped $1,000 on the land. Do I regret it? No, because I honestly think that there's a ton of value in this. I think that what they're doing with this platform is incredible. So while I think $1,000 was a steep entry fee, all things considered, I think it could be worth way more than that. Especially once these experiences go live, because there's only a finite number of lands that'll exist where experiences can be built. So as popularity increases, as more people use the platform once it goes live, as more users are inside of it, there's going to be a higher draw for people to have a presence, for companies to have a presence in this metaverse. And that means, by default, lands will probably be more valuable because people will be able to charge more for them because there's not a lot of them. I think they will be sold out by the end of next year. December 2022, I think, is when they'll finally finish selling all the lands. They're about 2/3 of the way through selling them all right now. So what are we going to do here? We need to add some height to this. Nope, didn't like that at all. I'm going to add some elevation here, and we're going to start this. Cool thing about this is even if I build like elevation like this, I can clear out the inside of it and make like tunnels, etc. So there's a lot you can do with the space that you're given. Considering to get yourself a few pieces as well. Yeah, not a problem. Happy to help. Like I said, I know the live streams are a little different from the stuff I normally do, but I really like bringing you guys different style content. I love being able to engage with you guys in different ways, and the live streams give me another chance to do that. So if you guys appreciate them, I appreciate that. If not, I get that too. There's always my other content you guys can watch. Always the other stuff. I hope you guys have been liking the weekly Metaverse updates. I've really been having a lot of fun putting those together. I have learned so much about just the different stuff going on in the Metaverse over the past few weeks from doing those videos. It's crazy how many Metaverse platforms there are. It's crazy how many different companies are coming up with different ideas right now. The next few years are going to be very, very wild when it comes to gaming and just virtual experiences in general. Very wild. Yeah, I mean, if you're if it's something you're considering, I'd say obviously never make a decision like that without seriously doing some research and stuff into it. But if it's something you're considering, I personally think it's awesome. I think that what they're doing is very cool. And I have had zero regrets so far when it comes to investing inside the Sandbox. So, personal preference, obviously not financial advice of any sort. Even though this is a game, it's still an investment because the lands aren't cheap. And, I mean, really, they could return a lot for you in the end. So, often do they do land sales, and does the platform require internet connection? So, land sales will require internet connection, obviously, because it's going down on the website. Right now, they're in the middle of their Summer Jam land sale, which means they're doing a land sale every week for 5 weeks. They've already gone down 2 weeks, so there's 3 weeks left of land sales. That's not a common thing. Usually the land sales are once a month or less. So there's a ton of opportunities right now to get in on it. The platform, when you play the game, will require internet, yes. And I do believe the Game Maker application requires internet as well, because it's pulling from your current profile to know what assets you have in your inventory, etc. And it saves to the cloud, I believe. All these games are saved to the cloud. They're not saved locally. So for those reasons, I do believe you need internet connection. But because the game is an online game, you would need internet connection. So yeah, so this is the game builder. When the game drops, I mean, people aren't going to be doing this. They're not going to be building in the Sandbox. They'll be playing the Sandbox experiences. So Game Maker is really something that people that own lands are going to be using. People that, are just regular everyday players, everyday users, they're going to be using the Game Player program, and that hasn't dropped yet. That's going to go launch. Alpha for that's supposed to launch. It's going to be launching this year, maybe even in the next month or two. We should see the alpha for that. That'll start with landowners. Obviously, they're going to open it up to landowners first, give them the chance to play the game, find any bugs, etc. And then from there, it'll expand the release, beta release, and then 1.0. At that point, it'll be an app you can download on your computer and play it. I got 2 diamonds in E2 for about 500 tiles. Felt bad until I heard there were people. Yeah, I mean, I only have 3,600 tiles in Earth 2. I've been very selective about. I was very selective about what I bought. I got like 60 different properties. I only got like 5 or 6 jewels. So, I mean, honestly, I wasn't too worked up about it. I mean, it's one of those things. I'm really waiting for this kind of stuff to come to Earth 2. When that kind of stuff arrives, then I'll be more excited. That was kind of what I got into the platform for to begin with, was because they were talking about being able to do this, but it seems like this is a little further away than what was initially thought. So that's why I was really excited to find a platform like the Sandbox, because it let me exercise my creativity a little bit. So to get into land sales, man, I've actually done a video on that. If it's something you're interested in, I would definitely recommend checking it out, because it'll probably go over it a little bit better. But you just need to have sand in your wallet, which is the cryptocurrency that they use to buy that you use on the platform to buy things. And then you need to have Ethereum to cover the gas fees. Like I said, I did a video that kind of covers it a little bit more in depth. Probably would be pretty helpful if you're interested in getting into a land sale. But basically, the way it goes down is they have it at a scheduled time. You're on the map. They open up a specific section of the map, and then when the land sale goes live, you can click on one of the boxes, one of the lands, and then you can hit buy now, and you can reserve it. They go really fast. The last couple have gone in like 3 or 4 seconds. So it's easy to get into, really. I mean, you're just kind of waiting there for it to go live. You have to have a username on the Sandbox and stuff, obviously, but getting a land is a little bit harder because they're really, like I said, they're really popular right now. So there's been a lot of, especially this last land sale, for some reason, there was a lot of I don't know. Like, there was a lot of weird issues on the site that I had not seen before. There was a lot of people complaining. You know, go figure. We're all used to that with, you know, some of the different early platforms that we've gotten into, but there's still people that are hugely not a fan of it, and, you know, cry everything from bots to, you know, favoritism to all the things. And the reality is there's just a lot of appeal for this right now. There's a lot of people that want to get involved in the space. So yeah, these kinds of things will happen. Studying metaverse related cryptocurrencies, been following the price action. Let's see, my 3 favorites. Yeah, I'm curious to hear what your 3 favorites are. There's a lot of things, people doing interesting things in the space right now, so. Only 62 properties with six jewels. Yeah, that sounds about right. Nomad, that sounds about right. It's about what I had. Again, I'm not sweating it, really. Jewels only mean so much right now. I guess based off the way the game's structured, so. In case you guys are wondering, I didn't like the way that land was. I'm going to make this like a floating island to start. And you're going to be able to move up from here. I like floating islands because you can put stuff underneath it. Yeah, I'm going to build a platform, take people up, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the platforms kind of go up like stairs. Like the floating islands will float up in the air like stairs, and you'll be able to travel up. I don't know if I'm going to do platforms, if I'm going to do actual stairs, if I'll do like rope bridges or something. Rope bridges would be kind of cool. Add to the whole island vibe. Yeah, I'm curious to hear your favorites, Faithless. Like I said, doing these Metaverse updates the last few weeks, I have been exposed to a lot of different Metaverse platforms, and it's crazy to see how many there are out there, how many different companies are all trying to do this. Some of them in the same way, some of them in slightly different ways. Like that Engage Oasis I was talking about yesterday. That one, it looks like it's geared more toward like the corporate world, so like a corporate Metaverse for companies, which is really cool. I mean, there's already platforms out there that are built in very similar ways to social media platforms, but are geared toward businesses, toward the commercial side of things. And so I think it's interesting to see it going one step further, metaverses that are designed for that. My neighbor Alice, Sandbox, Illuvium are the token utility here to be the best. Axie is good. I haven't heard of Illuvium. I'll have to check Illuvium out. I know, I'll be honest, I think Decentraland has the potential to be pretty successful too. I think Decentraland has the chance to be successful. Hey, Nomad, you know, speak of the devil, Decentraland. Just because they have a finite number of lands, which I do really think is important to creating a cohesive metaverse. If you have too much space, there's not enough desire to be there, and there's not enough connectivity. You know what I mean? People want to be close to each other, so there's got to be a level of, you have to shrink things down just a tad. It can't be, it's got to have a finite level to it. And so I think the Sandbox and Decentraland, they both do that well. Now, Decentraland has some pretty large partners as well. Like I said, Republic Realm has put a decent amount of money into the platform. They made a $900,000 purchase not too long ago, and they're building a virtual mall. And that shows, number one, their confidence in the platform, but number two, I think it shows that there is obviously some potential to Decentraland. To answer your question, Nomad, I have not tried Decentraland. The buy-in for land is a lot higher than most of the other metaverses right now. I don't know if that's by design or just by the way the market has started to shake out because of the popularity of the platform. But I have not gotten in on it. I was actually, ironically, I was thinking about it earlier, about how I could possibly get in on it if I would have to maybe flip a land in the Sandbox. What I could do. Yeah, Mana was what I saw. I know Mana has risen from like 25 cents earlier this year to like, I mean, at one point it was over $1. I know things have cooled off on the whole crypto market as a whole, so it's probably not at $1 anymore. I know my neighbor Alice's token shot up to like, what, $30 a token or something like that. If you were able to get in on that, you made ridiculous money. I actually did a video on it back when that happened too, so. Yeah, the mana I agree on the too much supply when it comes to mana. Although it was impressive to see it get to $1. I will say that. That was impressive. I mean, that's kind of how I feel with Omi a little bit. I know because it's deflationary, they burn some, so you know eventually the scarcity will be there, but it's going to take a while. Obviously, as they ramp things up, it's a long-term investment. It's a slow burn. You know what I mean? No pun intended. It is a slow burn. But it really depends on your risk tolerance, you know, what you're interested in, what you're trying to invest in, what spaces you like. I like the idea of investing in the virtual land space, but I like it from a creativity perspective. I'm not trying to flip land. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with people that are out there trying to flip land and find new platforms to sell it and make a quick buck. Go for it. And there's platforms that I think are really good for that. Not even necessarily virtual land platforms. I think like NBA Top Shot was a good platform for that. I think there are others. But my interest has always been in creation, on the creation side of it. So from that perspective, I'm always really going to be drawn toward platforms that allow for creation like this, that allow for creativity to shine through. Yeah, see, so now we have this floating island, but we can put something underneath it. Sorry, I'm rubbing my nose, guys. Allergies are crazy. Every time it rains, like everything like comes to life, and I feel like I'm dying inside. So, great times. But I like the floating islands because you can just put stuff underneath it. You know what I mean? Another thing I thought of might be really cool, because again, I want this to be geared toward the community. I want my community to have first dibs, first access to this. Another thing I thought would be really cool would be to find a way to support any of my community members that have like online businesses, whether that be web stores or stuff that they can sell online, and create like a little market or a corner of this island where we can showcase, maybe every month we can showcase a different online business, link to their web stores, you know, whether it be art or, you know, clothing or whatever the case may be, whether it's a digital product or a real world product. You know what I mean? If there's a way to access it or view something or preview it in the web, on the web, then we should be able to set up some sort of market here where people can show off their goods. So I'm kind of getting that vibe from this section here. Like I kind of want to put something underneath it, like, so maybe I'll build a market or something right here for community members to host their stuff. I think that would be really cool. I have a little here too. Omi, I have a little here too. I'm not adding as I don't really agree with the tokenomics. Yeah, Omi, I mean, I think Omi's got a lot of potential only because obviously it's under the VV application, and what they're doing right now, it's pretty undeniable. Partnering with Marvel's huge. That's a huge deal. So I do really think that there's some potential there. I don't know enough about Omi to really speculate on what the price could be eventually or anything like that. I imagine it could be pretty good, though. Let's get a brick wall in here. See what that would look like under here. There's the backing. Yeah, so we could put a wall here and create like a market. You know what I mean? I could add some pillars and a roof and create little booths where people can show off their stuff. I think that is what I'm going to do in this area. You know, VV is awesome, man, and the platform's sick. You can love it and not have any care in the world about Omi, so nothing wrong with that at all. I totally 100% agree. I think VV's awesome. I think the potential they have is incredible. And, I mean, I got a Labbit the other day in Thursday's drop. I did not get a hoverboard from Back to the Future. I was really ticked about that. I had the cash in there, I had the gems loaded in and everything, and I spaced. Completely forgot about it. We went to fireworks. And I realized about 20 minutes after the drop that I'd missed it. So feels bad, but it is what it is. Honestly, I'm really fortunate. I've gotten a chance to get in on so many drops to the point that I started not getting in on drops because I could just be selective about what I wanted to buy. So from that perspective, like I said, I'm fortunate and I can't really complain. But I was really bummed because I really wanted to get in on the Back to the Future drop. I thought it looked so sick. I already have a DeLorean too, so. Virtual gallery across a few metaverses. I have heard of Metaverse a little bit. I know Beeple too, for sure. Yeah, I think virtual galleries are a big deal, and I think as things migrate to like NFTs and blockchain and stuff like that, I think there's going to be no shortage of virtual content to host and to create those kinds of experiences around, which is why I want to do an NFT gallery here. It's absolutely something that I feel like needs to be here. Just as another way for everyone to showcase our art that we love, but because I think as NFTs progress, there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff to show off, and I would really like to be able to do that. So definitely on my list of things to do, NFT gallery. I have one in my other land already, and I definitely intend on having one here. Okay, yeah. But like I said, I want this to be something that is fun and engaging for the community. And once the Sandbox is live, I want anyone that at any time to just be able to come in here, whether I'm here or not, and be able to hang out, like a virtual space for people, for the Combo Crew to chill. I think that would be so sick. And so that's kind of my goal with this, is to give everyone that opportunity. So I want to make this as fun as possible. And that's going to be a lot of work, obviously, because to build something like that, to make it fun, you got to put work into it. But I have no issue doing that. And like I said, this is something I will be doing on stream. I won't be building on this off stream. So it might take a little bit to get done. But I don't think the platform's going live for a little bit. So I think we got a couple months at least before the general public will be in here. I'll get the chance to get in here. But if you do end up scoring land and become a landowner, you will have the opportunity to probably get in on the beta access early for the game player. So that's always another incentive to want to be a landowner. That said, you don't need to be a landowner to use this. So if you're curious on how this works, guys, if you want to know what it's like to build using the Sandbox Game Maker, I mean, obviously you're seeing me do it here, but if you want your own hands-on experience with it, go download it. Go to the Sandbox website, sign up, create a user account, download the Game Maker, mess around with it, test out your creativity, see what you can do. I think it's really intuitive, and while I do have a little bit of experience with platforms like this, most of it was from my teenage years. So this is really just me mostly learning how to do this on the fly. Now, obviously, it takes a level of creativity. You can't just go in here and expect to build the Mona Lisa or something like that. Brainstorm a little bit. Come up with ideas. Go look through the assets. See what they have. See what you're capable of. And then, once you've figured out your limits, then come up with an idea. Come up with something fun. Test yourself a little bit. I've sat here for hours sometimes trying to figure out mechanics to make a quest to do something that you would think is so ridiculously basic, but you learn that it's not that easy. Some of this stuff's not that easy. So it gives you an appreciation for game developers. It gives you a newfound interest sometimes. It's something I've been really interested in recently. And the other thing that this does, and this is really cool, guys. The other thing that this does, like when you go in here and you can add behaviors and components, not only do these actually do things that allow you to make experiences and more complex mechanics and stuff, but it's teaching you coding in a completely different way than what you would expect, because you still have to add all the parameters here and in a certain way and in a certain order for things to function properly. And in a way, it's forcing you to understand that same order that you have to do with code. And that's something that the devs have actually talked about. It's something that was one of their goals with the project, was to make this a experience that not only teaches people how to utilize the platform, but also makes people more familiar with coding as a whole. And I think that's sick. I'm not really big on coding, so if I can learn the fundamentals of it inside of a platform like this, that's awesome. For free. Yeah, for free. Exactly. Exactly. You're learning code for free. You're building a game experience for free. I mean, you could come in here and build your whole game experience, have no land in the sandbox, build an incredible game experience, and then just go out and find someone that has land and come up with some sort of contract where you rent their land every month to host your game on it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of options. I know there's going to be landowners that went out and bought land and are going to not do anything with it. You know what I mean? And so land rental is definitely something that's already going on. There's already people collaborating like that. There's game studios that have ideas and people that have land to host it. So the entire economy, the entire system, and the freedom that comes along with it is really what I think is so desirable about the sandbox, because there's so many different ways you can create and collaborate and engage, from a creation side, from a user side. I love that. I really do. So big fan of what they're doing. Big fan. Do a pillar. Do we want to do concrete pillar or a stone pillar? I think the stone pillar would look cooler. Don't you? Yeah, we're going stone pillar. Look at this thing. And we're going to add a roof over top. And then I'm going to make like little booths for people to host their stuff. Land lottery's going on. All you have to do is stake. My neighbor Alice. Yeah, so Faithless, funny you mentioned that. Staking is a really big thing in the sandbox too. I know Earth 2 Odyssey is actually staking right now, and he was talking about some of his rewards already. So yeah, you can stake Sandbox. I think the only requirement is that you stake an equal amount of ETH and sand. But their staking rewards are pretty awesome. It's a pretty good return. Not only that, but they also reward people with custom NFTs every month. So just for staking on the platform, just for staking your sand, you get like a custom NFT every month, which is really cool. I think stuff like that's very cool. On top of obviously getting the sand rewards. Guidebook Gaming is live. Say hello to the Guidebook Gaming community. I love you guys. I didn't realize you guys are going live right now, or I would already be off here, because honestly, I wasn't trying to compete with you guys. I was just trying to build and hang out. I like to watch you guys. Now I'm a little bummed. What if I brought the stream up and we had like Streamception going? Would that be weird? How weird would that be? I'm not going to do that. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, Guidebook Gaming, they are a excellent Earth 2 stream. Earth 2 is actually the platform that got me into virtual land, stuff like that. So if you are if you want to read about that, check it out. I definitely recommend it. It's obviously a different concept from the Sandbox. I think it's got a lot more it's a lot more of a long-term vision. It's a lot grander of a vision too, but they do great live streams, land giveaways every stream. So if you want to get into the platform for free and you want a couple tiles, go watch their stream. Nameless and Tech Ops are awesome. And they've always been very supportive of my channel, which I very much appreciate. They've always been very kind. Yeah, Nomad, I'm going to make it free to come to my island. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to make it to where only specific people have the NFT, and I would like to make it to where my community has first dibs on that. So if you're like a subscriber of the channel or something like that, I'd like to make it inclusive to people that already are a part of the community. I'll figure out a way to do that. I might be able to do it in Discord, make you join the Discord or something like that, or some other way to validate that. And then what I can do is I can create a custom NFT, and I can gate the land so that only people with that NFT can get into the land or get into a specific part of the land. So maybe I just want to create like some exclusive access areas for the combo crew, etc. If I want to do that, just create a custom NFT and then NFT gate it so that if someone wants to get in, they have to have the NFT. It's pretty easy, actually. And I think that NFT gating is one of the reasons that I was so interested in this platform, is that you can create an experience and then you can gate it. You know, you can charge for it. You can charge access to a certain part of it. And that was, I mean, that was kind of the allure for me, was building an experience when I first came across virtual land in general. So, big fan of NFT gating. So that's what I'll do. It'll be exclusive to the community, guys. It'll be you guys being able to get on here. Like I said, we'll probably do custom watches. Maybe we'll do a guidebook gaming stream watch along. We'll get in here and hang out together, and I'll put the stream up on a big screen in like a theater or something, because I do plan on building a theater for everyone to hang out in. All right, so I'm putting these pillars up because what I'm doing is I'm building a market where community members can host their web store. So if any of my community members have products that they sell, like clothing, digital products, services, etc., I'd like to create like a monthly rotating market here where people can create a little booth where they can showcase their content, kind of give back to the community there. So that is what I'm building now, and these are the pillars that are going to hold up the roof, even though they actually don't hold anything up. They're just for show, but shh, we got to make it look cool. What I should probably be doing is running something between the pillars so that I can make it a little bit easier to judge the depth between them. Haven't done that yet. We'll do it shortly. Yeah, that's a mess. That's a mess. What are we doing here? Yep, so Nomad, that's the goal. I think I'll probably make the island free to access as a whole, so that you know, if you're new to the community or something like that and you find a link to the island, you can just come visit it without me having to give you full access. But I will create parts of the island that are only accessible to community members that, you know, are active in the community, etc. Think of it like an exclusive club. And their tools allow you to do that, so I really appreciate that. All right, so we got to put a roof here. Part of me wants to build a custom roof asset rather than use something, but let's see what we have that we could use as a roof. What's up, Adarsh? Hope you're doing well. I could, yeah, Faithless. If I wanted to charge for booth rentals and sand, I absolutely could. And I could always make the market larger, you know, a couple floors, and we could have a dedicated spot where people from the community are gifted a booth every month, and then there could also be spots where people pay to host their content. Absolutely. Kind of gets the brain juices flowing, you know what I mean? When you can think about stuff like that. But yeah, that is definitely always always a possibility to do that. But at the same time, I want to make sure that when this is done, it's nice. You know what I mean? Like, it's worth coming to visit. So I wouldn't charge for something unless it was worth it. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to be like, oh, hey, come to this island, no one comes and visits, and I'm going to charge you $10 a day to post your content. That's not really how I roll. So there would only be charging like that if, you know, there was some sort of extreme level of visiting to the point that I felt like it needed to happen, but not for now. Not for now. Maybe we use brown blocks. What if we did that? I'm gonna make it like a brick roof. I know that seems weird, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should make that the ground. Actually. See what that looks like. Oh, yeah. See? Brick road for the ground. That works better. What can we use for the roof? Oh, we got wood tiles. Yeah, we're going to use wood for the roof. Wooden roof. So you can't just drop a block anywhere. This is why I'm building up to get to the roof. Although I could probably put a little end wall here too. I'm going to do this so I can connect them. Like that. I dig this. I dig this. Get rid of this so we can... Nope. You can see. Alright, so I'm going to have to lift... What do I have to do here? I mean, I guess it works. Starting to understand the land value. It is, yeah. I'm doing well, Darsh. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I do really feel like the value, for, even at $1,000, while it was a big buy at the time, I don't think it's that huge of a buy long term. I think it has potential, serious potential. Which is why, like I said, while it's a lot of money, I didn't feel bad when I made the purchase, because I really just think that, again, that's me. Everyone has their own personal preference, but I think it has the potential to be a huge return in the end. And I just love the ability to create this kind of stuff. Like, this is so cool. I mean, I know that there's been some purchases in this platform already that were absolutely massive. 5 wide. $622,000 property was bought at one point, so that was for an estate that was made up of 576 of these. So if I zoom out here, this is one land, 96 meters by 96 meters, and you can build up 128 meters. I'm at the very bottom, so you can build way up here. So 524 of these worth of space. Someone spent around $622,000 on. Which is a lot of space, as you can imagine. A lot of space. It's already looking kind of cool. So what would I want to do here? So there's this gap right here. I think it would actually be kind of cool if I put a block of light there. So like a glowing block that gives off light. And then maybe I could drop the concrete walls by like a tiny bit so that the light shines through all the way around the top. It's like a big light that runs around the top. I think that'd be kind of sick. You heard of Blankos? I've heard of it, haven't really checked it out. Don't really know much about it. So I don't really know. Don't really have an opinion on it. There's a lot of stuff I still have to check out. I mean, I've heard of like Zedrun I still have to really look into. I know it's a horse racing game, and I literally bought a plot near it in the Sandbox, but I don't know much about it. I watched a live stream of it the other day on Twitch, though, and it's pretty wild. All right, let's get the... What kind of light are we going to use here? We're going to use the light block here, the white block. No, definitely not trying to do that. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is going on? Try it from this angle. That's not very easy to do, huh? There we go. I mean, I guess it shows through from this side, so that's fine. Oh, that's kind of cool. Little light on the situation. Did I do it 2 wide or 1? That's 1. Well, that works. Yeah, I haven't heard of Blanco, so I'm not too familiar with it. I just covered 2 brand new metaverses this week for the first time. I had never heard of either of these. One was the Oasis, the Engine Oasis, or Engage Oasis, I'm sorry. And the other was Division World. I had never heard of either of those until I started doing some research for my video this week. Hey, that looks sick. Look at that. Some booths here, lights and everything. Now we got a shelf, like a counter for people to walk up to. What should we do that out of? Cobblestone would probably look cool. It'll look cool with the, yeah, that'll look cool. If I purchase an NFT over Railable or OpenSea, for example, say a digital art, will I be able to display it over here? So on OpenSea, yeah, you can display any NFT. I'll actually show you how it works. Partially how it works. I'm not going to go all the way to OpenSea, but I'll show you how easy it is to do. So you get a frame. It's a billboard frame. Put it like anywhere. Just going to drop it on the map here. Okay, and then if you go to it, you can go to component. Nope. Component. NFT image. And then you just paste the URL from OpenSea right here. And you choose how you want the image to scale to the frame. Whether you want it to stay like the original size, or you want it to stretch, etc., etc. Resize, fit to height, however you want to do it, based off of how the frame's designed. And then, yeah, it just pulls it in and displays it. So you can do a whole gallery of art, and you don't have to own it at all. You can display any NFT that's on OpenSea right now. I think it's just restricted to OpenSea for now because of the testing period, but from what I understand, they intend to open it up to others. How cool would it be to like host a VV NFT in here? Like, that would be so sick. So I imagine they'll get to that point. They're just they're still working on stuff, but the fact you can do that is awesome, and that right now gives you the ability to do NFT galleries and stuff like that. Or you could, you know, post an NFT advertisement on OpenSea and then pull it into your land and use it to advertise a product or something. So there's so many different things you could do with that. There's also billboards that you'll be able to rent out to people as well. So lots of different options in terms of what people can do. I think I'm gonna, yeah, gonna do this. Is that right? Yep, just need to make sure it's lined up here. It is. The pillars just aren't lined up. Cool. And now I can use those blocks to help me line up the pillars better, because otherwise it's not as easy to space things like that. Oh, I'm glad to see you're enjoying it, man. I'm glad I could you know, show it to you a little bit and show you just how it works and what you can expect from it. I am personally very impressed with what I've seen of the Sandbox so far. I don't know. I think they have something really special going here. I've also just been having a lot of fun building. I should save this. I haven't saved this at all. 2 tips, guys, if you're building on this. Save frequently. And my second tip is save frequently. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. For real, though, save, guys. Save as much as you can, because what I find sometimes is that the game mode, I mean, it's an application. It'll crash. It can crash, especially if you push it too hard. It can crash. I've had it crash. It's not fun. We're going to delete that block because it's showing through like that. I don't like it. So save. Save frequently. Sometimes Control-Z stops working, so the ability to undo something, it's not the end of the world. You can usually still undo whatever you did manually. But if, like, you know, for instance, you're building and you accidentally add like this huge block right here, right? Well, if I can't undo that, then I have to delete that manually, and that really sucks because then it ruined, you know, some of the other blocks I've already put in place, etc. So, save. Save frequently. I really like this little marketplace here. I think it's going to look so cool when it's done. I'll put like some flags. Maybe I'll put like a custom frame over each one. I could add like one of those billboard frames that I just showed over each one, and you can pull in an OpenSea image that hosts like a picture of their web store or what their product is, etc. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. This is coming together well. And they're still improving this app, guys. It's by no means done in terms of we'll do 89 at 2. In terms of the stuff they're adding, they've been testing out MP4s. I guess I saw on their last stream they were talking about testing out MP4 files to host on frames. That'll be great, being able to host video files, so you could do like a watch along of some custom, you know, content that someone did, like a YouTuber or otherwise. So I think that's really cool. And I'll definitely be doing stuff like that as soon as they open up those options on the platform. But they're still testing out a lot of stuff. They're still working on the ability to run custom audio. So you can only do, they have like some set audio in the game right now, some custom music you can use, etc. But it's nothing like the, I don't even know what is on my chair here. It's nothing like the custom music you would use. So if you want to look for music, if you want to add music to your world to make it a more enveloping experience, then you're going to have to either use the default options that they have, or you're going to have to wait till they create custom music. I, for one, am really waiting on custom music. I know once that happens, you can trigger custom music. So you can do things like custom concerts, custom nightclub experiences, album playthroughs, you know, whatever the case may be. Do stuff like that. And that's kind of the way you want to think about this kind of stuff, you know. Most people don't think about doing that kind of stuff in a world like this, but that is definitely the mindset that you want to have when you're building stuff like this. Because whereas some things are a traditional game, this gives you a little bit more flexibility. And so you want to think about that. You don't want to limit yourself to just games. You know what I mean? You don't want to just limit yourself to making a game. Maybe you want to make something that's more than a game. Maybe you want to add a game to your world, but you also want other things. And that's I think, where it comes in. America is more expensive than Asia. Would you be same concept would apply? I'm trying to understand how some plots are selling. So it's not that these individual lands right here probably aren't selling for 5F alone. Maybe they are, but they'd have to be like next to like Atari or something. So there's some huge partners in the Sandbox already that have huge estates that are made up of like 524 lands. Atari's one, Roller Coaster Tycoon's one, Binance is in there, Zed Run's in there. The Smurfs, Shaun the Sheep, they all have large estates. So the only thing I could think of is that one of those estates or one of those lands is near one of those estates, probably touches it and connects to it so that people could bounce from that estate right to your land. And that obviously gives it a ton of value. So that's the only reason why I would think. Otherwise, you're seeing something on sale for 5eth, it's because it's an estate. It's multiple lands. I mean, like I said, if you were near the right partner, a land could be worth a lot to somebody. So 5eth, it seems crazy, but it might not be that crazy. Yeah, I mean, the initial price of land does not change based on, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. There's two different kinds of land that they sell during land sales. It is premium land and regular land. The premium land is touching an estate, and it does cost more. It usually costs about 3 times to 4 times as much as a regular land. So none of the lands I own are premium lands. Maybe the first one I owned is a premium land, actually, because it touches an estate. It doesn't touch a large estate, though. It just touches a small estate that someone owns independently. So yeah, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of depth to the platform, so I can understand how there's a lot of questions, but at the same time, lots of questions, lots of potential. Actually, I have to move this to make it show. Don't like that. It's too much. Too much. We're just going to delete it. 8902. See, the other thing you want to do is use the exact positioning here. You can see how I'm looking at the position of transformation here. So I set each one of these to the exact same one. That way everything's exact. All right, we got this cool little booth here. This might be close to a good stopping point for today. Now that we're actually getting really serious into building this, this might be a good stopping point. I probably wasted a little too much time just building this this little market here, rather than terraforming the rest of my land. But it was enjoyable, so I don't care. It's fun. Gotta add the floor in here. Yeah, see, that's the one thing. You kind of have to have a little self-control when you get in here, because it's easy to get sidetracked and start working on, like, ooh, I like how this looks. I'm going to keep building this. And then that's what I end up doing. I end up building out something fully instead of probably focusing a little more on just some of the land manipulation like I should have. But it's always really cool to see part of your vision come to life. And I'm very much that kind of guy that likes to have like some sort of gratification. I'm an instant gratification kind of guy, so I have a tendency to bounce back and forth like this when I work. Sometimes I'll do manipulation like that, like terrain manipulation, and then suddenly you'll see me working on a full-on market. So yeah, not a problem, Faithless. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate the support. The other thing you can do is select multiple assets like this. Just trying to get them to pop out. There we go. I just wanted to get them to pop out of the wall a little bit. That looks pretty dang cool. I do say so. That works. Yep, I dig it. We're going to save that. All right, guys. So we got our floating island. It's going to lead to another floating island. That's going to lead to a tree house. So I'm going to build a huge ass tree here. We're going to add some leaves and stuff. I'm going to put a balcony around it, and there's going to be an actual building inside of it. And that's probably going to be where some stuff goes down. That's going to be sick. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build floating islands that go up around the perimeter, higher and higher and higher, and then there's going to be, in the middle, there's going to be like this crazy treehouse. I think that's kind of fun. And then we'll put a building down here, maybe some, I don't know what we'll put down here. I'll have to think about it. The world is our oyster. All right, guys. Before I hop off, I will run around the land just so everyone can see what it looks like done here. This part, anyway. Yeah, this looks cool. Just sell your wares. Sell your wares. We got bright lights. I'm going to have the lights on because I intend on setting this to night for the ambience. Right now it's on neutral. I'm going to set it to night. Then the lights look a little cooler. See? Yeah. So hopefully, what I think would be really cool would be to, get to a point where like maybe someone can host one of their services here, and not only can you purchase that real life service or product, but you might be able to get an exclusive NFT from them. You know what I mean? Maybe a custom NFT for your character, like a custom t-shirt. Say they have a clothing company. They could make a custom t-shirt that you could also get, so that when you come over to their booth and you buy one of their shirts in real life, you also get a custom t-shirt for your character. So just stuff like that. I think that there's a lot of underlying concepts and things to build upon to really make it a fun experience. Yeah, you spawn by default with a sword. I can take it off, but it was fun. So you can choose the default spawning equipment. You can make your own, etc. All right, so there we go. We got our floating island. We got our little corner market going with our, what do we got? 7 booths there. 7 booths. I might end up extending it out and making it 8 next time. We'll see. All right, guys. So I think I'm going to call it here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I come at you guys with normal YouTube videos too, not just live streams where I'm building stuff like this. I like to cover blockchain, metaverses, virtual land, that stuff. So if you're into it, make sure to subscribe. If you like this video, smash that like button. I would appreciate that for the almighty YouTube algorithm. Follow me over on Twitter @TheBullCombo, and also join the Discord if you guys want to hang out with the community, say hey. Always make sure to join there. I have a link in the description of this video, and you're welcome to join in and come join the combo crew. And I'll be doing live streams like this periodically, so I'll probably start announcing them ahead of time. That way it gives you guys a chance to know, so that you can get in here and kind of take a look and follow along and plan for it, because I know I've been pretty random with the live streams. So thank you to those of you guys that hung out. I hope you guys have a great weekend. For those of you celebrating, I hope you guys have a fun and a safe 4th. And until next time, guys, we will see you soon.